A saturated Norwegian turf roof could weigh tons. Yet the grass on top never kept the water out.
So what stopped the leak? And why bury the real waterproofing under soil that heavy?
Start with the obvious objection. Turf soaks up rain, and the wetter it gets, the harder it presses on everything below.
Modern guidance puts a saturated turf roof at about 300 kilograms per square meter. Over 40 square meters, that is roughly 12 tons. An illustration of scale, not every old roof. The grass was not the raincoat, and nobody hauled that much soil by accident. To find what it hid, take the roof apart from the top down. Under the turf lay boards. They carried the load, but bare timber could not stop years of rain. Builders laid thin birch bark, overlapped down the slope.
One sheet was fragile, so traditional guidance describes several layers, commonly around 6, sometimes more. There was the raincoat, but bark is light and wind can lift it.
That is the job the turf was hired for. It pinned the bark down and shaded it from sun and damage. Burying the waterproofing protected it. But wet soil obeys gravity. On a slope, what stopped the whole covering creeping down into the farmyard? A turf-holding log or board along the eaves took the thrust, with restraint at the gables. Those timbers kept the weight where it was put. The weight had a price, paid in strong edge timbers and upkeep. So on a log house, why tolerate that load at all? Because the load did a second job below. On a log building, steady weight helped press stacked wall logs together and tighten their joints. The burden on top firmed the wall underneath. Turf also slowed heat loss and softened temperature changes, while the bark kept shedding water. So the roof was never one material. Boards carried, bark shed water, turf held and protected the bark, and edge timbers stopped it sliding. If it worked that well, why was every Norwegian building not under grass? Because Norway never had one roof. Rainfall, pitch, craft, and whatever material lay nearby changed the answer. Turf did best in colder, drier inland districts. In the rainier west, steep, overlapping slate roofs were often practical, where workable stone was at hand. The same rain produced a different local answer. And turf was never maintenance-free. It could slip or expose the ridge. Owners intervened before sun and water reached the bark. Add a synthetic membrane and the system changes. The membrane sheds the water, so the birch bark no longer does the work the old roof depended on. Repair meant lifting the turf back, patching the bark beneath, and reseeding it against the eave log. So rain-added weight was never the goal. It was a load to survive. Grass held the raincoat down. The standing turf load pressed the walls and slowed the cold. Across the same farmyard stood a building that beat a different enemy. Not with weight, but by removing a path. A staircase that stopped short of its own door.